One. All right, I'm back for Dust TS's ongoing coverage of Fragadelphia CS, and I'm here with Swedish import AlekS, who's currently playing for Fisher College. So to start, your team has had a very strong run here at Fragadelphia. How are you feeling after the MCS win earlier today?
I think it was a good start of the day. It made us feel warmed up for the rest of the games we have going on. We have a game now in 50 minutes, and then hopefully we're going to have 2 more matches after that.
And with us, you recently arrived in America to obviously study at Fisher College and play for their collegiate team. So this is your first Fragadelphia LAN. How are you enjoying it so far? And is there anything similar in the Swedish LAN scene?
I think there is, but the hype and the trash talk that happens here is not the same in Sweden. I think we in Sweden are a bit behind, and it's been a lot of fun. To be honest, the only thing that I'm missing is I feel like I wanted to have more stronger opponents.
So you've had a pretty easy time here. Do you think being a European player, especially obviously you had a ton of experience with Little Mix, Kappa, I believe you're on Fnatic Academy briefly. So you're coming into this land with a ton of experience from the Swedish scene. Do you think that sort of gives you a bit of an advantage over these American competitors?
Yeah, I would say so. I think if I look at all of the teams that I've been playing in, it's given me a lot of experience that I don't think anyone at this LAN has had.
And so you obviously have had a lot of experience in Europe. So it's interesting that you decided to come, to America to go to school, but also compete in CS. What was the main factor in you deciding to come to America?
I think when I look at my esports career, I was on a downward trend, and this is a way for me to still do what I love. In the meantime, I can get that education, and going to Fisher, which is one of the best collegiate schools, it also makes me be able to compete at the highest level of Counter-Strike and not only play with Faceit level 5s and stuff like that.
Interestingly, though, you're not playing with Fisher in the league right now. I believe you're playing with Pride, and you were recently in ESE Advanced Playoffs. How did you end up on the Pride roster?
So basically, our opera from Fisher, 3C, he was playing with another team, and he brought me in there so I could get more playing time, which is kind of what I felt like I wanted when I first came here. I just wanted to come in the scene and just feel out how good people are, and just so I can keep my own skill level up.
Now, we've seen a couple other import players come into the collegiate scene. We saw Dan's, obviously, he's playing for Might right now, and he's playing for Lindenwood University. He's the Latvian player. Then we also saw, historically, Swisher was playing for Davenport from Estonia. Were they an inspiration for you at all in coming here, or was this sort of a decision you made on your own without any input from other import players?
This was my own decision. I had never heard of them until after I did this move, and then I've been speaking to Dan a little bit about his own experience and comparing it to my own. And I think this is the next move for a lot of Counter-Strike players to be able to compete and still get an education at the same time.
You mentioned, obviously coming from the Swedish scene, and how you sort of played at like the lower tier 2, sort of tier 3 level. As a competitor, did you think you had a future playing in the Swedish scene? Like, do you think you could have continued rising through the ranks, or was it kind of the end of the road for you being just a Swedish player?
I think it was a hard one. I might have been able to climb up again, but I think once you have your one golden opportunity, you need to snatch that and do whatever you can to keep on improving. And I think whenever I missed that chance, I think this was the only way for me to go, kind of.
Looking at, so for example, with Swisher, one of the reasons he sort of left and went back to Estonia was he had a feeling of homesickness, being the only European on his team. Are you and ReFuZR good friends on the roster, and do you think having another European on the team sort of helps you avoid like homesickness and dislocation?
Yeah, I think so. Me and ReFuZR, we've been good friends ever since he came here, and I also came here, and I think it helps a lot with having another European that you can speak to about everything that happens in school, in CS and stuff. But I still think it's not gonna dampen your homesickness feelings too much.
Looking towards the rest of the event will be finishing today. The other team, the highest seeded team is AlekS, and they also have a lot of Europeans. How do you feel about your chances, and who do you think is your biggest opponent here?
I think that would be them. Yeah, I think on LAN everything can happen, and especially when you play MR12, I think maps they might go super fast. And so far we've been performing good. I've been playing good individually, so I don't think there's anything that's gonna stop us from keeping our momentum here.
All right, so that's AlekS from Fisher College. He's also playing for Pride and ESC Advance, and he's one to look out for. Thank you so much for your time, AlekS, and I'll let you get to your match.